All right, guys, I'm back. It's April 19th, and I have 4 hot batter versus pitcher matchups I absolutely love. But before we get into it, let's recap yesterday. Bang! Adolis Garcia. You got to love it. Our only hot batter versus pitcher matchup yesterday, because there was only 5 games, comes away with a home run. He ended up with 2 hits ultimately, with 5 total bases. He just blasted it out of the park. Did you know what his nickname was? I looked it up, and they called him El Bombi. And I'm like, it's because he hits bombs out of the park, right? No, his friends called him that because they said his head at a young age looked like it was a shape of a light bulb. What the fuck? I mean, oh, geez, what a nickname. I mean, it sounds cool, but the intention behind it, not so much. But I'm going to call him El Bombi because he blasts that shit out of the fucking park, and you got to love it. So again, with these hot batter versus pitcher matchup, the baseline is just to record a hit, right? And if you would have played this player in any offensive prop bet possible that uses the bat, I'm not talking about steals or anything like that, just uses the bat, it cashed anyone possible. You could have played home run, you could have played over 1.5 bases, and you could have played the just to record a hit, but obviously doing it all by itself would, the odds are just not proper for that. So, I mean, if you would have parlayed this up with someone else that didn't not hit, put it that way, you did okay. But if you would have parlayed them up with someone like Jose Ramirez, not so good. But the bottom line is we are on fire with just predicting the hot batter versus player matchups to record a hit. And in the last 3 days alone, I think we're 6-1 playing. If you were to play the over 1.5 total bases, we are absolutely on fire in selecting the hot batters who are going to come away with, the proper offensive production for us to cash our prop plays, not necessarily parlays. When you parlay them up with someone else that doesn't record a hit, but looking around, who did that? All right, on to the 4 extremely hot batter versus pitcher matchups I absolutely love for today. And who do we got the first one? Oh, it's the big bear, baby, Marcel Ozuna. You got to love it. He recorded at least 1 hit in 16 of his last 16 games. Can we make it 17 for 17? Can you do it for us? Ballpark Pal has this listed as an extreme advantage for Ozuna. They have this as the worst 7 percentile of any possible matchup Andrew Haney could be facing by way of Marcel Ozuna. When you look at Ozuna's barrel rate, it's at 17.2%, which is in the elite range. When you look at his ISO rate, which measures power, that also at 28.0% is also in the elite range. Do I think that this guy could get a home run? It wouldn't shock me. I don't know if I'm going to play for a home run. I want to look a little closer. I'll put in the pinned comments what I'm doing with this one in the morning of April 18th. I look at it a little closer. But do I think he can get over 1.5 total bases? Yes, I do. Do I think I'm going to put it in a parlay with someone else? I hope not. But who the hell knows? Like I said, I'll put in the pinned comments. Absolutely love Marcel Ozuna in this matchup, at least to record a hit. All right, next up, Bobby Witt Jr. versus Dean Kramer. And when you look at this, Ballpark Pal has this listed as an extreme advantage for Bobby Witt Jr. And how much of an advantage? Well, according to Ballpark Pal, they say this is the top or the worst 3 percentile of possible matchups Dean Kramer could be facing by way of Bobby Witt Jr. They have a little history among themselves, too. 6 at-bats for Witt, 3 hits, and he got 1 home run. So when you look at Witt's barrel rate, it's at 22.0% in the elite range. ISO rate, 31.3%, also in the elite range. So what does that tell me? It tells me that Bobby Witt Jr. has the potential to maybe hit a home run. I don't know. We'll see. I'll put in the pinned comments what I'm doing, because home runs are determinant on a little more than just that. You want to look at the ballpark. You want to look at the weather and all that. I'm going to look at that in the morning and see if it's favorable to play him for a home run or not. But at the very least, over 1.5 bases is not out of the question when you have a barrel rate and an ISO rate both elite like that. But at least to record a hit, absolutely love this one. He's recorded a hit in just 13 of 19 games. That's a little on the low end for me, but there's just something about this that I just can't pass up. I love Bobby Witt Jr. versus Dean Kramer. Let's go get it done. All right, next up, Shohei Otani for Sean Manaea. Manaea, if I get it right. Geez, look at that hair. It's so beautiful, man. Not in that way. It looks amazing, is what I'm trying to say. Shohei Otani has recorded at least one hit in 18 of his last 21 games. Ballpark Pal has this listed as the ultimate extreme advantage as you can get in terms of Otani. They have this listed as the worst 1 percentile of possible matchups Manaea could be facing by way of Shohei Otani. I guess I dropped the ball a second here because if you look at the at-bats, hits and home runs, it's not 0-0-0. They've had a little bit of a history. 4 at-bats, just 1 hit, and no home runs, but absolutely love Otani in this one. His barrel rate's at 19.4%, which is in the elite batter range, as I call it. His ISO rate is just shy of what's considered in the good range, but it's close enough. It's Shohei Otani, baby. You got to love him. 18 hits in his last 21 games. Give me Otani in this one to at least record a hit. All right, Mookie Betts and another familiar name right there, Manaea. Let's get this right. That hair is freaking awesome, baby. Ballpark Pal has this listed as ultimately, let's just say the extreme of extreme advantage for Mookie Betts. Just like Otani, this matchup represents the worst 1 percentile of any possible matchup Manaea could be facing by way of Mookie Betts. They have a little history together, but not that kind of history. 13 at-bats, 4 hits, and a home run. You got to love it. Barrel rate for Mookie Betts is a little shockingly low, 8.6%, just below the rate by which you would call it a good barrel rate. But, I mean, look at it. Mookie Betts recorded at least 1 hit in 17 of his last 21 games. He's just so good. I guess his barrel rate doesn't really matter. His ISO rate is 22.6%, which is in the good range. I love Mookie Betts to record a hit today. All right, and I got 3 honorable mentions. These did not make the cut. I repeat, do not play these thinking that these 3 meet my criteria. But I think I just say, I can put these guys just missed the cut, but I could probably put them there just in case you're kind of thinking, I kind of like these guys, and he doesn't like them enough to put them on record, but he just missed the cut. So if you like one of these guys too, maybe, just maybe, both of us kind of liking it together might be a good opportunity. I won't get right into like every single detail, but Jose Altuve, can you get a hit? Maybe. He's pretty hot. He's got 17 hits in 20 games this season. When you get into Austin Riley, he's hitting 14 of his last 16 games. And when you look at Ronald Acuna Jr., can you go over 1.5 total bases? In the 12 games he's recorded at least a hit, 8 of them were multi-hit games. And when you look at the over 1.5 total bases, he's cashed that in 65% of his games this year. So there you go. Like I said, these are just honorable mentions. These will not be graded as official plays. These are not on the level of the other 4 that are the official plays. So I just figured I'd throw these in here just in case you guys are like, I was kind of liking these guys, and I'm glad that you kind of like them so that maybe you'll feel comfortable if you want to play them, but there you go. That's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I will put in the pinned comments what the hell I'm doing, but then again, you guys are smart enough. I think you guys can take this information and run with it and use it properly in any way, shape, or form, that you typically want to enjoy building player props or what have you. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.